about 100 fewer turns, but you've got the same type of elevation changes, the same type of twists and bends, and the same amount of width on this racetrack. That is not a whole lot of it. We'll see what the drivers can do tonight, given the restrictions they have with such a twisty, gnarled up, dangerous track with blind corners and not a lot of room for racing.
Yes, it will, and I'm going to put this in the chat too, Clindy. While we do have a narrow, very twisty, there's a ton of elevation changes here too. So a very technically demanding racetrack here. We are also experiencing technical demands. Clindy and I both discovered that trading paints is not working this evening. So it'll be the stock paints, and we do appreciate all of our competitors and do apologize to them. But we're just going to see the iRacing paints tonight. There's no way for us to get that program to work. So just so you're aware, right now Kevin Burrell is on the pole with a time of 1:26.896, and Sam Carosella, and we have not seen Sam up at the front in one of these things. He's currently got the second best speed right on his heels. Nick Sudik in the number 6. Mitch Welker is going to round out row 2 right now, Clindy, but that's not the story. The big story is who spun off and does not yet have a valid qualifying lap.
Our number 1 car of Phil Kraus. That's who. He's still sitting at the bottom of the board and trying to complete his first lap, trying to come to a lap that will count for time. He has reset multiple times and is running out of seconds on the stopwatch to put one in. He's got about 90 seconds left to get around a time and a half. It's going to be very, very close to see if he can even punch one on the board here.
Yes, Phil is out on the track, and we'll go ahead and pop Phil Kraus up in the up on the screen. As you can see, there he is, the number 1, black and purple. Those are his normal colors, as I mentioned in the chat. We are experiencing some trading paints issues. Lithfox just let us know it requires a DNS flush. Yes, we discovered that about Clindy, 30 seconds before we were set to go live.
Yep, just not enough time to get it all reset, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we'll be rolling with stock paints tonight, but that's okay because the action on the track is going to keep us entertained no matter how the cars are painted. We are watching Phil Kraus as he attempts to get going.
With 30 seconds to spare, Kraus comes across the line. His time's good enough for second. Kevin Burrell bested him for the pole. I believe the rest of our starting field is set, with the exception of Tyler Langenberg, who did not take time.
And that's always there's always one guy that does that, right, Clindy, that doesn't take time, and they're going to start from the pit lane maybe, or at least start from the back. And do appreciate your orbiter. Yes, the timing tower is a little bit too far to the right, or the left, excuse me. We have fixed that, but I'll tell you what we do have, Clindy. We've also got a starting grid, brother.
Yeah, very nice to see 23 competitors out here, or 24 competitors this evening. They'll all fit on this track. It's plenty long, and hopefully they'll give us a lot of action all tonight. First night of the work week. First night of these drivers getting to work on this VIR raceway.
100%. And on the pole tonight, it's going to be the general Kevin Burrell, minute 26.896. Phil Kraus did come across the line, but he was just a hair short, 1:27.013. Row 2. Sam Carosella, Nick Sudik. Row 3, Mitch Welker and Will Weiser. Starting 7th, Matt Taylor. 8th, Alan Berteau. 9th, Caleb Brashear. And Sandy Ahmed is going to round out your top 10. In 11th, we're going to get Logan Edwards. In 11th, Sophia Connell. 12th, Logan Edwards. 13th, Alexander Miller. Heather Lippman is 14th. Thomas Van Kirk, 15th. Alexander Marsh King. He'll start on the outside of row 8. In row 9, Jake Katz and Sean Ross. Making up the 10th row, Nick Dornick and Ollie McGowan. 21st, Charlie Shears. 22nd, Milo Green. 23rd, Uncle Rob Unglakis. And Tyler Langenberg does not take time. He will start 24th and shotgun on the field. There we get a good look at our grid. Clindy, this is going to be fun. I'm interested to see that first run. I'm interested to really see that first run down toward the horseshoe. That's turns number 1 and 2 here at VIR. I'm gonna keep my eye on that one. There are a lot of small technical quick corners between that first right-hander and then a really long and loud straight section from 6 and 6A, which is called the snake, all the way up through 7, 8, 9, 10, which are the S's. They end with South Bend. And then there's a hard right double apex right-hander at 11 and 12. It kind of reminds me of the final corner at Fuji, the way it's uphill and a double apex right-hander. It kind of reminds me of that, Clindy.
I don't know road courses as well as you, Murphy, because I'm bad at them, so I don't race them. It's kind of a vicious cycle. I'm honored and flattered that you have me in the booth here for these road courses in the open split every week, and I learn a lot every time, so thank you for teaching me.
You are more than welcome. So they're going to come out. They're going to blast down the backstretch here. There is a I don't know if you want to call it a bus stop or whatever it is, but there is a kink back there. It's called Madison Avenue. They then continue down the back straight toward the roller coaster, and that corner is fearsome. It is a quick, hard right-hander. Then back to the left for 15 and 16. Another right at 17, and you're going to wind up through the hog pen and back on the front straight. The front straight here is huge uphill. The top of the course is really, my estimation, the top of turn 1 and then the top of turn 12. The rest of the time, you're traversing hills, and you can kind of see Kevin Burrell here. He's getting close to the S's, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got the bridge there. But you can see, Clindy, how far uphill they're going just from the onboard shot here.
Yeah, when you can't see the track in front of you because it's blind, that means there's an elevation change in one direction or the other. Recently, I had to learn the Barber Road course in Alabama, and I compared the first part of this section. I called it Barber 2 this morning, and I said, hopefully, or I guess I said, I'm glad I'm not out there because it would be just as painful for me. Phil Kraus off again, under pacing. He pulls off on the grass. What is going on with Kraus?
Yeah, he just pulled off and he punched out. There he is. No, I think Phil's having some connection issues. He blinked momentarily. He is off on the grass, but the number 1 is parked. We're going to follow that. We were showing the onboard from the pace car because those pictures give you a great idea just of how much elevation there are and the blind nature of these corners. You're just coming off of turn 12 now. That's the club pit lane. And look at how far they have to climb up here, Clindy. You almost can't see the top of the hill from the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's like a little mountain. And those types of elevation changes are really hard on the equipment too, because you take so much more power to fight gravity on your way up. Yep. It could create, and in my novice estimation, passing opportunities, especially when you're on the push to pass button, because you use that extra horsepower to fight gravity a little bit harder. Oh, there's an update from Phil Kraus. His wheel is dead. It has died in his words. Oh no. So expect the one car perhaps to take a tow here and not make any laps.
If he can remember what the hotkey is to tow. So now you're going through 14, 15, 16, 17. So we're not using the chicane in the backstretch. We're going to go straight from 12 down to 14 and 14A. We're going to round hogpen, and we're going to be looking at the front stretch and a start. Phil Kraus has towed. He is not on the racing surface. Barney has the green flag in the air, though. There's Phil in his pit box. A tough end to his evening, but here we go. Green flag is out, Clindy. Racing is underway here at Virginia International Raceway. And already off the break, Kevin Burrell, the general, jumps into the lead. Fiercely forward teammate San Carosella is right around the outside of Nick Sudik. They're going to battle for second. Mitch Welker has gotten past Sudik now. We've got cars off in the back, cars around, huge accident in the back. Hard contact.
3 cars. It looks like it's Alex King, Sophia Connell, and one other, Alexander Miller.
Yeah, let's take a look and see exactly how this transpired, Clindy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're looking at Alex Miller here. He is the green, white, and black. He is the green and white machine, black side pods. Here he is. He's gonna have. Let's see. Okay, so the 20 is that the 20. The 24 of Connell gets loose in front of the field, and then he's collected by the 17 of Alex Marsh King. That is also the 16 of, I believe that's the 16 of Sophia Connell involved. Hard hit for Alex Miller.
We're going to pass for the lead. Mitch Welker went around the outside in the horseshoe to pass Kevin Burrell for the lead here.
Yes, he did. Now, Mitch Welker is doing the thing that he does, which is Mitch Welker is
starts on reds and goes real fast. Tries to run and hide.
Yes, you see the red caret next to Mitch's name. That means he's on the red tires. Everybody else in the field, Clindy, you know where they're at? They're on blacks, and so that means Mitch is going to have a chance. He's going to try to run away here at the beginning. The fuel window should be anywhere between 18 to 21 laps, depending on how much you can save it. I would estimate he's going to go right to that window. He's going to go 7 or 8, and he's going to get off those things because the nature of this track would seem to me that it would destroy the red tires in pretty short order. It is not a hot day here at VIR in the sim. 68 in the air, 99 on the track. It is windy. It's coming out of the south, which means wind at your back going down the back straight, wind at your head coming up through the S's, which honestly is probably the best place it could be for the handling. But Mitch Walker has gone to the lead here.
In commanding fashion, he's already opened up quite a gap, almost a whole second over Burrell.
Yes, he has. So there's the leader, Mitch Walker. He does set the fastest lap of the race. Right there, you see it. You've got the general Kevin Burrell behind him in second. And then behind them, you've got Carousella, Sudik, and Weiser. That's P3, 4, and 5. Carousella's paint must have been one of the ones that's in my cache because he is showing up in the familiar Fiercely Ford livery. There he is. The front two have separated themselves just a little bit. There's a second between P1 and P2, another second between P2 and P3, and then positions 3 through 8 are really all kind of pretty close together there, Clindy, as we watch them.
Yeah, Matt Taylor's right on the rear wing of Shady Ahmad here for 7th place. It's probably the closest spat for position on the racetrack.
Yeah, we'll show it. This is probably the first time I've looked at Matt Taylor's car and haven't had to wear sunglasses in a couple of years. Of course, the very colorful MadWorks livery hidden by the fact that Trading Paints has decided to not be cooperative today. And we do thank all of the drivers, their painters, their sponsors, everybody out there who supports these drivers. We'll have that fixed for tomorrow night. Don't worry about that. You'll get a chance to see Matt Taylor tomorrow. But he runs along 8th, right behind Shady Ahmed. Logan Edwards is another second back there. And then we talked about Taylor Langenberg. Taylor Langenberg started this race from the back. P24, he's made up 8 spots, Clindy.
Well, when Phil Kraus pulls off to the pits and 4 of them wreck on lap 1, that's 5. You just got to do 3 more. Tyler is on the upswing. Perhaps he's not yet satisfied with 16th. Sean Ross is not too far up the road.
No, he's not. He's within half a second, which at VIR is pretty close, depending on what part of the track you're in. Of course, you can see on the screen. We're watching Taylor Langenberg. You can see on the screen the scoring tree will light up whenever the drivers hit the push to pass. They get 200 seconds of the extra 50 horsepower at their discretion. I would surmise, Clindy, they're going to use most of that either on the run up through the S's or down the back straight. There are some fast parts of this course that you can really stretch your legs. And off goes Langenberg hard, and is he going to make the tire barrier? No, he gets it, stops. But he's going to lose all of that time that he just gained, Clindy. Milo Green goes past. Alex Marsh King goes by. Uncle Rob is approaching. Langenberg gets it back on the course, but he went off hard there at Hogpen. Just about nosed it in the tires.
Getting it stopped saved his day, but, he had some fortunate circumstances to start with. Good and bad, different sides of the same coin.
It is indeed. And speaking of different sides of the same coin, I think Mitch Welker and Kevin Burrell's tires are hitting different sides of the same coin. Welker had gone out to as much as a 1.5 second lead. That has started to come back the other way now. Kevin Burrell, 0.2 of a second quicker the last time through, and he has started to hunt down the very rapid Mitch Welker, who currently leads it on his red alternate tires. But Kevin Burrell leads a parade of drivers on the primary black tires, and Kevin is coming.
It's not entirely a parade. Ollie McGowan just dispatched Jake Katz through the NASCAR turn. So you had a little bit of shuffling and shaking back in the pack there.
Yes, you do.
Not as orderly as a parade, maybe.
Well, if it was a parade, we'd have floats, clowns, and somebody be throwing us candy, Clindy. We're going to ride on board with Kevin Burrell here just to give our fans an idea of what this looks like. That's right outside of his right eyeball. Looking as he chases down.
Look how little racetrack you can see. You're on a straightaway, but where's Mitch Welker? Pops down, out of sight, basically.
Yeah, he's going to go over this brow, and he's going to disappear almost onto the back straight. And just hard into these two corners. This is the part that I said kind of reminded me of Fuji a little bit, where it's that double apex right. And now you're going back. You're still climbing a little bit. You've got these farmhouses and such. It's a very picturesque circuit, isn't it, Clindy?
If you like farms, yeah. I mean, I'm from the Midwest. Makes me feel right at home.
Got some nice condos there off to the right.
They're not covered in dust like the ones at Thermal Club.
Yeah. Well, there's not much desert in the rolling hills of Virginia, are there?
No, Appalachia is well known for its greenery.
That's right.
And Welker is cutting it close. He almost went off there in Oak Tree.
Yeah, you're watching it from the vantage point of Kevin Burrell. He got really familiar with the track limits over there. There is some paved runoff after the curb, but he used up every bit of it. This is the hardest section for me here, Clindy, because you go from 170, 180 mile an hour, and you basically have to stop to make roller coaster.
That's why they call it roller coaster, right? Because it's what you do at the top of the hill. You stop, and then they let you down with gravity.
It is indeed. And back up the hill, that is a lap of VIR with the general, Kevin Burrell. He lies second to Mitch Welker, who is your leader. Sam Carosella remains third. Sam does have a group formed behind him. That's Nick Sudik in fourth. You've got Will Weiser in fifth. Alan Bruteau is back in sixth. So positions 3, 4, 5, and 6 are pretty much together. You've got another couple of seconds back almost to Matt Taylor, who has developed a gap over Shady Ahmed. Logan Edwards is probably the next closest battle. There's Logan. He is ninth. And Caleb Brashear, give a call down to Caleb Brashear. He was saying how much he did not like this track during the warm-up practice session. Right now he's 10th. He started 9th. He's been up to 8th, but he's solidly soldiering along. And sometimes, Clindy, if it's a track you don't like, that's kind of just what you got to do, isn't it?
Oh, I've done that plenty of times in the Warriors for Peace series so far this year. At Sonoma and Barber, I just showed up and logged as many of the laps as I possibly could. Unfortunately, not all of them in either attempt due to either pace or circumstances. But we do have 3 teammates at the front, Burrell, Carosella, and Sudik, all on Fiercely Forward. And Sudik has caught Carosella, but I think he's playing with kid gloves right now, just not to ruffle your teammates' feathers. He's been a little bit faster every single lap so far, and is almost within striking distance, I would think.
Yeah, that's rule 1, right? Don't wreck your teammate. Rule 2, see rule 1. Nick Sudik, there are plenty of different ways to handle this. My guess is he's probably just going to take care of it on the pit stop, either short pit 1 lap or go 1 lap longer. And he's going to have the advantage. He'll know when Sam Carousel is coming in. These guys are all in Discord together. They're all in constant communication. Do want to thank everybody who's out there watching. We do have an awesome crowd here tonight. 26 people currently watching. Do want to thank the engagement in the chat, and we've got a lot of people who are watching who are very familiar regulars. Give a shout out and a big howdy and a hello to Ryan O'Donohue. He's one of if anybody here wants to see somebody that can wheel a stock car, tune it into P1 Broadcasting on Thursday nights for the AMA Xfinity Series, the AMA Blackmagic Studios Grand National Series, as it's called. Ryan O'Donohue can drive a stock car now, and he's been wildly impressive in that series. That's on at 8:20 green flag at 8:35 right here. Thursday nights on P1. Lith Fox has joined us, regular competitor on P1. Sophia Connell. Why does she keep dying? Sometimes it's just racing luck, Sophia. All you can do is really, Clindy, we all go through spots like that. You just got to keep putting it on the line, right, brother?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't show up to the racetrack, you can't get wrecked, but you also can't win. You just got to get your mental head state in the right place and, execute on what you know how to do best. And I know Sophia puts in more work than almost anyone to go fast and be faster in these open setup races, and does a lot for the community. I know she always runs a happy hour prior to these events, and most often weeks I'm in there trying to get a shakedown on the track too. I just knew at VIR I wouldn't be able to make any laps competently, and I'd just be in everyone's way, so I didn't bother this week. But it's really good to have you in the community, Sophie, so keep your chin up and get them back next week.
Yeah, absolutely, and that good karma will pay off eventually, Sophia. Just keep at it. Rashad Craig joins us, our good friend, my Indy Alliance teammate, not on the course tonight. He's been upgrading his computer, Clindy, so he's tinkering with the physical side of these things, and good to see Rashad joining us for the broadcast. Any of you out there, and we know that about half the people who watch these broadcasts don't do it. So one of the things that you can do in the easiest and most free way that you can help us out, again, easy and free, smash the like button on the video, ring the bell to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, those are the easiest ways that you can support the P1 Broadcasting Network. And we are in our drive for 1,000, Clindy. You need to break out the spray paint.
Will Weiser has just crashed.
Aha. Let's see what's befallen Will Weiser. Are you sure about that?
Absolutely. He was stopped at roller coaster for a good 6 seconds after spinning out by himself.
Aha. So let's see what we've got with Will Weiser here. I show him still on the track in 9th place, Clindy.
Yeah, he rejoined. I thought he was in the tire barriers, but he had stopped right next to them.
So Will Weiser, he was running along with that group, Carousel, Berto, Taylor, Ahmed. Will Weiser, of course, started this race in the 6th position. He runs along currently in 9th, and there's Will, and that car does not look happy on those used primary black tires. Do want to give a shout out to Jesper Orman. He's also joined us. So we've got pretty talented chat down there, Clindy.
Mm-hmm. And Kevin Burrell has joined Mitch Welker. He is right in the draft wake. I bet you he'll make the move for the lead here in short order. Yeah,
Mitch's alternate tires have definitely gone off, and it's just a matter of time. Kevin was a couple of tenths quicker again that lap, as he's been really for the last 3 or 4 laps. And we're gonna see exactly how long it takes Kevin Burrell to go past Mitch Welker, or is it one of those where Kevin's going to try to ride behind him and save some gas, maybe take one less lap on the alternate tires? That would seem to be a huge advantage. Welker's started to go away even after 5 laps, it seems.
Yeah, the extra lap of fuel might be a tall task considering the length of this race course, but every lap you can log on the primaries right behind someone who's on alternates is just going to play in your favor, because the roles will be reversed at the end, but Burrell will have a lighter tank and not have worked as hard on his alternate tires. The only exception to that is perhaps maybe Mitch Welker started with a light tank and will pit early as soon as the window is open. It just depends on how long he feels like those alternates will last.
You know, that's quite true, Clindy. We're on board the roll hoop. Kevin Burrell, the general, He works it off of. He works it off of Oak Tree Corner, up the back straight, past Madison Avenue, and the cutout that they're not using. Hammer down as they head toward Roller Coaster at Clindy. I am waiting on Mitch Welker in that number 5 machine. When is he going to pull it off? When's he going to cry uncle? Those alternate tires have to be about shot, I would think.
Well, I mean, he's in the lead. He's got all the clean air he can ask for. I think he's probably got to ride them out as long as he can, and as long as Burrell's not burying him in lap time, which, I mean, he would be if the roles were reversed, I'm pretty confident. But since this place is so narrow, or like the racing line is so narrow here, I think Welker's happy to run those reds until they're on cords.
You know, and I'd have to probably bill you right. And it's not like they are giving up a little bit of time. Nick Sadiq back there in the third position, he's made up a couple of tenths. So give a call down to Nick Sadiq. He's making up some time here, but it's not as though he's rapidly catching them. 29.985 for Burrell, 29.714 for Sadiq. So yeah, a couple of tenths faster. Yeah, Mitch Welker probably holding Kevin Burrell up just a little bit, but I don't think it's that big of a deal at this point. So it's either Kevin or Mitch, to be honest.
Well, and I don't think Burrell is sweating bullets at all. He's got 2 teammates behind him, and Welker's putting up a good enough pace to where he's still 4 seconds and some change ahead of Sadiq. So he really doesn't have any sort of pressure. He can take all the time in the world to get this move done.
You know, Jesper says, holy cow, the track is fast. Let's jump on board with Nick Sadiq and just show Jesper exactly how fast this joint is. You're going through, that was the back of the backstretch. So we're going to come around. Those are the leaders right in front of you. And the other thing we'll want you to notice, Jesper, is there are points coming past the pit lane entry. Mitch Welker has dove on the pit lane. There are points coming past the pit, going around this course, where the driver ahead of you will go over a brow or the top of a hill. You can't see them. 178 miles an hour down the front straight. And then right here, coming off of turn number 2, down towards 3 and 4, that's a double apex left. Here's the second, and immediately flick back to the right for 5A. And as you come off of 6A right here, we're going to start the stopwatch, Clindy. Nick Sadiq is going to be more or less full power.
All the way to the 2 board.
Yeah, 16 seconds he was on the 16 seconds he was on the full power there. That's quite a bit. And he's going to be on it just as long coming down this back straight too. Watch the speed here. Let's see what he traps at. 182 miles an hour. 182. Mitch Welker has stopped. And so we do need to check on Mitch. There he is. He is in 15th. He has come in for a set of the primary black-walled Firestone Firehawks. Back out in 15th. He's in a pretty comfortable place. He's got a couple of seconds up to Sean Ross, and he's got a couple of seconds in hand over Charlie Sears. 6 seconds in hand over Charlie Sears. So Mitch Welker is in really good running position here. He's got a chance to log some quick laps, but he's off.
He's very off. I think he was following Sean Ross ahead, who also dipped a tire off, and his primary tires were just a little colder than the alternates he had been on. That's going to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, it takes, even in perfect conditions, and certainly we are running along, Clindy, in just about the best conditions that anybody could ask for an IndyCar race, virtual or otherwise. It takes a good lap or two for those Firestone Blackwall primary tires to come in. Guess who's joined us now, Clindy? Take a gander.
It's the boss, Gary Godso.
It is Gary Godso, the boss man, the founder of the P1 Broadcasting Network. And Gary, of course, is the resident historian of everything iRacing. Mitch Welker, he informs us, won the Season 4 Formula Indy race here en route to the championship. And that series is going to be right back here this Wednesday at 8:20 p.m. So if you want to have a Wednesday night that's full of action, Clindy, we watch Mitch Welker run along here. He's 15th. If you want a Wednesday night that's full of action, we can watch the oval guys like my good friend Kyle Clinworth here. They're going to get upside down. Where is it this week, Clindy?
I believe we're at Kentucky in Horizon.
All right, so they're at Kentucky. Kevin Burrell leads it. Ryan Eric King and I are going to be on the call from Kentucky. Gary Godso, Stephen Larkamp, they're going to have the Formula Indy race. And if you think that this is fun, imagine these cars with Formula One rules and standing starts.
Oh, but they do refuel them.
They do refuel them, yes.
Not all Formula One rules. Just Formula One tracks, standing starts. Otherwise, IndyCar pit procedure.
Correct. Well, these cars don't have 50, 60-gallon tanks like Formula One cars do either, Clindy. Also true, right?
True.
And
just the limitations of what league stewards can do, right? You can decrease the fuel size, but you cannot increase the fuel size.
I would, that's one of the reasons Formula One cars have become so big. The other reason that they're able to make it much longer on a tank of fuel, of course, is that F1 cars run more or less what is considered to be, and if you ever find the fuel that's in a Ferrari at a Shell gas station, please tell me, but it's ostensibly supposed to be 100 octane pump gasoline. Now, it's not pump gas. There are billions of different additives that they put into that witch's brew. But theoretically, it's supposed to be gasoline, and gasoline is more efficient and more thermally effective in some applications than the alcohol fuel that Indy cars burn, be it methanol, ethanol, or however it's sponsored these days. Alcohol also weighs twice as much as a gallon of gasoline. Adam Blocker was in here, told us that a gallon of fuel for these cars, it weighs about 7 pounds. And so that's going to be another huge advantage for Kevin Burrell when he comes in to get his alternate red tires. Not only is he going to have a shorter stop, but he's not going to have to take near as much gas, and that's going to be easier on his tires, because if it's 3 or 4 gallons, that's 20 or 30 pounds he's not toting around out there. Watching Kevin Burrell.
Welker's made his... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Welker's now made his way around Sean Ross. There you see it. He's going to draw a beat on Thomas Kirk, although Thomas Van Kirk is about 5 seconds, give or take, up the road. So Mitch does have a ways to go. Mitch Welker does have a ways to go before he gets up to the car of Thomas Van Kirk. The maddening thing is he can see it going up the hill. That's how long the straightaway is, but then it disappears.
And what's important here is now that Burrell is on pit road, we'll see if the delta that Mitch Welker lost going off track is going to come to his detriment here. I have a feeling Burrell is going to come out in front, but not by a lot.
It's wholesale pit stops. Kevin Burrell, Sam Carosella, Nick Sudik, Alan Bruteau, Will Weiser, Shady Ahmed, all on pit road. Is Mitch Welker going to come past the general? He's not going to get close, Clindy. There's Mitch Welker.
He's just ahead of Sudik and Carosella, and they're going to have the alternate tires here, which have a lot of fire-off pace. They may be able to go 2 seconds faster than they were previously. They may both leapfrog in front of Mitch Welker here.
Yeah, now Welker is going to have the advantage when it comes to the second half of this run, but for these first 5 or 6 laps, this is Nick Sudik and Sam Carosella's time. They're going to try to make it a fiercely forward 1, 2, 3. Matt Taylor does lead it. Logan Edwards second. Caleb Brashear is third. Those 3 cars have not pitted, and so they are going to need to stop. And when they do, we anticipate that Burrell, Welker, Sudik, and Carosella will resume positions 1 through 4. Here's Matt Taylor, and we'll go ahead and put the rapid Matt Taylor on the screen. He's running it as long as he can. He's going to come to pit road. So he is on the pit lane. I would anticipate we're going to see Logan Edwards follow him in. And Logan does. So there's Logan Edwards. He's come to pit lane, as has Caleb Brashear. And that means that this man, the general, Kevin Burrell, is going to come right back around. He's going to pass him on pit lane. gives a wave of the hand. See ya, boys. Thank you very much. Away he goes. But that's not the battle. The battle is right here. It's Nick Sudik, and I think it's just a matter of corners now, not laps, not time, but corners before Sudik goes through on Welker. He's going to try him around the outside here, Clindy.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2-for-1. Sudik's going to get him here through the NASCAR bend, and I think Carousel is going to look to follow.
Yep, Mitch Welker, he's going to get pushed a little bit wide there. Underneath does go Sam Carosella. So 2 Fiercely Ford cars for the price of 1. Away they go. Sudik now second, Carosella third. Put Mitch Welker back to 4th. And now it's a matter of when is the advantage going to flip. We saw it happen about lap 5 to 6 with Mitch Welker. That would mean that we're looking at the advantage going the other way on the Fiercely Ford versus
21.
Yeah, we're looking 21. So that would be what? 6 to go, Clindy? 7 to go?
3 laps. 3 laps from now, yeah. I think another little variable in this equation we need to consider is that Welker's primary tires are older now than Burrell's were at the front. He pit on lap 12, so his primary tires are 6 laps old already. They're not starting from the same counter number. Oh, Welker ate too much curb there, got really out of shape. I think Welker will be happy to pass just Carosella. I think it will be a tall task for him to get back to second.
Yeah, and he's definitely pushing. I mean, Mitch Welker, noted hot shoe in these cars, great road racer. He was on the Oval Show the other day, and he said he was just happy to have led a lap. And some guys, you and I much prefer the ovals. There are parts of the community that very much love the road courses. We love them both. We're just not any good at this turn and right business. Mitch Welker, very good at it. Run along in 4th. There you see it, working the hands, trying so hard to keep up with the option tires on the Fiercely Ford cars. And right now, they're just driving away, Clindy.
Yep, just if I could have a fraction of the talent that Mitch Welker has on road courses, I would give him a fraction of my talent on ovals. I would be very, very pleased to lead any laps on a road course in these open lobbies. It's not in the cards for me this season, but as we progress in our careers and into the future, I hope that there is a world where Plenty can sometimes, even if it's just staying out under a pit cycle, right? I don't even have the pace to do that right now. I'm well below Logan Edwards and Matt Taylor. I
was gonna say, so I had that experience at Indianapolis, and I think I grabbed a screenshot of it and sent it to all of my friends, certainly. But I believe it was the Indy Elite Series race at Indianapolis. I was credited with 1 lap led on the pit cycle because I had managed to stay out the extra lap, and I was just close enough that I crossed the line as Brandon Trano was leaving his pit box. So I was credited with 1 lap led, and eventually, of course, finished. I believe I finished on the lead lap in that one. But
hey, way to go, Murph!
I led one lap on a road course, which is absolutely hilarious. Mitch Welker, though, he's got bigger problems. Not only is he losing Sudik and Carosella, Alan Berteau has snuck into that picture, and Berteau wants 4th.
He's going to get it, too, in short order here. I think Berteau will probably set him up out of Big Oak and get him down the backstretch, especially if he lights up that push-to-pass button.
Yeah, speaking of that push-to-pass button, Mitch Welker is just about out of him. We're going to go ahead and pop that up because it is of note. Mitch Welker only has 38 seconds left on that button. Alan Berteau, 109 seconds. Sam Carosella, 102. So even if the tire situation does flip, Clindy, Mitch Welker is at a massive deficit when it comes to the push-to-pass button. Even if he gets there, it's going to be very difficult to make a move because those other guys are going to be able to use the button defensively, and he's not going to be able to use it on offense. A little lock up there from Berteau.
And he won't even have the opportunity to use it, I think. I think Sudik is doing such a great job of towing Carosella along. Carosella has no intention of using any push-to-pass, while Berteau here is going to make a move going into the horseshoe.
Here he does. He's
looking to the outside of Welker.
Now, that does seem to be the preferred move. This is how we saw Sudik go through. It's how we saw Carosella go through. You want to position yourself to the outside here. Unfortunately, Berteau not able to stay there, but you want to be to the outside there because you get the inside coming through through the NASCAR lefts at 3 and 4. It just didn't quite work out there for Brutto, but he's going to line it up, and I think he's probably going to have him at the top of the back, or the top of either the S's going into turn 12, or he's going to have it coming down toward roller coaster along the back.
Well, this is a carbon copy of the lap previous, so we'll see if Welker or Brutto adapt any new strategies in their defensive or offensive positionings. Oh
What?
boy, they're both sideways there out of the big oak corner.
Get a nice look at the front of that number.
Coming down the
Coming down the back, get a nice look at the number 4 of Alan Brutto. Which way is he going to go, Clindy?
I think he's going to stay. Oh, no, he doesn't stay. He goes to the inside, dives it in on the left, sides on the rumble strip, locks up on the right sides. Welker goes back in front.
Now, every lap that this goes on, the better it is for Mitch Welker, the worse it is, of course, for Alan Brutto. But Welker down to 13 seconds of push to pass with 7 laps to go. He's running awfully short, Clindy.
Well, I mean, push to pass doesn't let you pass automatically. You've got to position your car in a position where you can use it plus the draft plus, a better racing line or a late braking move to get by somebody. I think the bigger issue for Welker is that driving defensively like this is just hemorrhaging time to the fiercely forward boys on the podium. So I think Welker's a long shot now, if anything, to finish third.
Yeah, and of course he got a much better run. He got a much better run through the top end of the track that time. Coming up through the S's, Alan Brutto is not close enough as they get to the braking zone. He's not close enough to try it. He's going to have to mount. He's got maybe one more crack at this because he's now been out 6 laps on those Firestone alternate tires. And honestly, Clindy, those things are getting past their best by date.
Yeah, it's like the milk carton that you find at the grocery store with the nearest expiration date. Nobody wants to buy that. They always dig through 2 or 3 more rows further back to find the one that's 3 days from now.
Brutto locks up again, and he's
Brutto's
off.
off again.
So that'll put paid to Alan Brutto. He's going to fall into the clutches of Matt Taylor now. Taylor, of course, is on a slightly different strategy. He stopped 1 lap later, so there might still be some life in his alternates. Matt Taylor also a little bit short on push to pass, not nearly as much as Mitch Welker. But here's that battle. It'd be interesting to see. Brutto locked up twice down there going in a roller coaster. And to be honest, how much of those front tires is he hurt?
They are heated up and worn out. Matt Taylor's been cruising out for a Monday night drive, whereas Brutto's been out there reenacting scenes from the Fast and the Furious. Taylor should seriously be in way better position here coming to the end of the race.
Well, let's see. Getting a good look at the number 7 Mad Works entry of Matt Taylor. They're going to come down here toward turns number 11 and 12, and we'll keep it right underneath the rear wing of Alan Brutto. I got a sneaking suspicion Matt Taylor is going to try to fire this thing to the inside when we get down the roller coaster, my man.
I think he's too far back now. I think he's going to position for something into the horseshoe.
I believe I'm going to have to bill you right, Clindy. As painful as that is for me to say, I think you're probably right. There they go. Through the roller coaster. Not close enough for Matt Taylor.
Oh, lapper there.
Yeah, going to take it off. That was Robin Glakis, I do believe. Sliding off to the side. He gets out of the way, which is a sporting thing for Uncle Rob. He's running 19th, 1 lap down. Is the last car running. Here comes Taylor, though. He's around horseshoe. He is right in the tire tracks of Alan Brutto.
Another variable. Charlie Shears
there's another
is off
car
in front
off.
of them.
Sears
He's in
is
the tire
off.
barrier.
And Sears just punches out all F4. Good move from Sears. Taylor just can't stay close enough through that technical section from turn 2 down through 6A. He's closer this time than he was, but I don't think he's close enough.
Yeah, he'll have to execute well here at Oak Tree. If he can get off of Oak Tree and onto the backstretch well, he'll have a shot. But Berchot has been so much better power down on exit than Taylor, even with his worn-out reds.
Well, there you saw it, and I think you're seeing a trend. Mitch Walker now out of push to pass. I think you're seeing a trend, Clindy, where these guys aren't using push to pass so much to make passes. They're using the push to pass just to get a little squirt of power off the corner.
Yeah, you can use a little bit every corner, every lap, and never run out, versus holding it down for 15 seconds in one straight. Using it 15 times for 1 second gets you more lap time than one time for 15 seconds.
You know, that's quite true. Although I do miss just having 10 presses and it was go until you're broke again. Just because I think that's more of probably what it was intended for, Clindy. Be that as it may.
Yeah, best intentions get laid to rest when that's not how it is in real life, sadly.
That is also quite true. Watching off the back of Alan Berteau into the MadWorks entry of Matt Taylor. This is the battle for fifth. The front four positions are more or less decided. Sam Carosella is pretty close to Nick Sadiq, but you got to remember those are teammates. 4 laps to go. I doubt Sam is going to fight Nick very hard at all. And so I assume that those guys in the Fiercely Ford outfit are going to be content to come home 1, 2, 3.
Milo Green is slow enough and not far enough ahead that he will be caught before the end of this race, but I don't believe it'll impact the finishing order unless something heinous happens.
You know, he is about 3 seconds a lap slower than the general Kevin Burrell, and he is a minute 21 behind. You've got a minute 29 left, so Kevin is going to catch him. My guess is probably going to be on the white flag lap or coming to it. Would be my guess. We're going to go back to the battle between Taylor and Berteau because we've got a cloud that's come over Virginia International Raceway, and this battle has not abated, Clindy.
Well, Uncle Rob's going to come out right in front of it.
There goes Taylor. He's going to try the move now. He's going to go around the outside at Horseshoe. He needs to keep it there so that he can be on the inside for the next set of corners, and he just does it not quite enough. But you're right. Now go ahead, Clindy.
That shallow entry really compromised his exit, so all that work has been undone, and Matt Taylor will have to get back on the horse again and erase that deficit.
Yes, he will. Now, Robin Glakis pulled over for these two in their battle for fifth. And Glakis, of course, is 18th now. He's 2 laps off the pace.
Ever the gentleman. What a very sporting move to do that.
As always, Uncle Rob, of course, is known as one of the finer gentlemen in the community. You know, you can find him out racing out here, and he's always one of the better ones, Clindy. Although he does have a rather wry side and a sense of humor about it. There was a spat that he went through many years ago with a more famous member of our community, and so Uncle Rob took exception to some of the driving shenanigans and put that driver's name in the middle of a bullseye on the side of his car and said, "Hit it here." So he does have a sense of humor, Clindy. That was a long time ago.
You tell me to flip you upside down and stuff like that. So, it's all fun and games because this is a fun game.
It is. If anybody would like to take a look at the rear wing of my IR18, you will find the words "Hi, Clindy" and a smiley face painted on the underside of it, which we get kind of a kick out of all the time, right, Kyle?
All the time. Hey, printing paints is working for me now. Look at it go.
Let's see if I can.
It only took all race.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get mine to work here. Now, Clindy does have
and Carosella.
Clindy does have an advantage when it comes to that. He's operating with an additional screen. I do not have the ability to do it. I'm going to have to restart my computer, I think, to get trading paints. But we do thank everybody for our patience. This is going to be a one-race thing. Meanwhile, we continue to watch Alan Berteau. I think he's got this in hand. I don't think Matt Taylor is going to have enough steam to get back. Meanwhile, let's go back to the front. Sam Carosella has got it down to within 0.6 of Nick Sudik.
He's within striking distance, and the white flag is when the gloves come off for teammates.
Yep. Now Sam is closing. The question is, how rough is he willing to be with Sudik? He's probably going to get one shot. It's probably going to be at the top of the hill going into turns number 11 and 12 after the S's. Luke Mansky pops in. Go Logan Edwards. Logan is currently... where is Logan Edwards? He's currently 7th.
Up 6 spots. Yep.
Yeah, I can't read my own scoring sheet. How about that?
I think he's the second biggest mover behind Ollie McGowan, who's up 10 spots from starting 20th.
Yeah, let's show Logan. Yeah, he started 12th. He's up to 6th. Here's Ollie McGowan. We haven't talked about Ollie yet, but he's up 10 spots. Definitely going to be the hard charger today. Sam Carosella, though, here he is off of turn number 12. He's going to have one more chance at Nick Sudik, and if he does, it's going to be right at the end of this back straight, and I don't think he's close enough, Clindy.
No, sir. It's all Kevin Burrell all day. He had to just dispatch Mitch Welker on those older tires at the beginning of the race, and after that, he's been out for a Monday drive out here in the farms of Virginia.
There is the general.
Pull around the last bend.
Yeah, there's the general. He's around Pig Farm. He's going to come across the line, and Kevin Burrell is going to be your winner. There's the lap car of Milo Green coming through. Sudik, Carosella, and Mitch Welker. Mitch comes home 4th. Now, he was quite a bit faster than the two Fiercely Forward drivers in front of him over those last 3 or 4 laps, but he gave up too much time in the opening part of that stint to make the comeback work. Uncle Rob's going to flash across. There's Logan Edwards. Caleb Brashear. Waiting for Shady Ahmed. There's Shady. Ollie McGowan should be the next one through. Want to give everybody their due, Clindy.
Yeah, I think Ollie McGowan does Twitch stream. I think his name is Reska. So you can go check him out if you want to see this from the driver's perspective.
You know, that's very...
rather than the
that's
broadcast perspective.
That's very true. Of course, Kevin Burrell does have a very popular Twitch stream as well. If any of the drivers want to throw their Twitch stream nicknames at us, we're more than happy to drop those into the broadcast, Clindy.
Always going to shout out my competitors, my friends, my competition.
As we should. But that's going to conclude matters here at VIR. The general, Kevin Burrell, he's going to come home your winner. Nick Sudik 2nd. Sam Carosella, it is an all Fiercely Forward podium. 1, 2, 3. Mitch Welker did his best. He's going to come up just short to come home 4th. Alan Berteau is 5th. Taylor, Edwards, Brashear, Ahmed, and Ollie McGowan positions 6 through 10. In 11th, Thomas Van Kirk. 12th, Jake Katz. Sean Ross, 13th. Taylor Langenberg, he starts shotgun on the field, makes up 10 spots. He's going to come home 14th, and Nick Dvornik is going to be 15th. Alex Marsh King is 16th. Milo Green, 17th. Robin Blankus, 18th. Charlie Sears, 19th. Will Weiser is 20th. 21st, Heather Littman. 22nd, Alexander Miller. 23rd, Phil Kraus after his wheel issues. And Sophia Connell is going to come home, scored 24th and last on the event. Try to get some replay footage queued up here. Clindy, can you get...
What do you need me to do, Mark?
Is there a way that we can get Sam Carosella an invite to the server, perchance?
What is his username on Discord?
It is Bark. He's in here,
He's in the waiting
actually.
room already.
He's in the waiting room already. Sam, you said you needed an invite to the server, my man. You were already here.
Kevin sent me one. All good.
Kevin, The general got you taken care of. So it's a 1-2-3 for Fiercely Forward. You guys were the dominant machines. Mitch Welker started out on the Reds, and then very quickly it became apparent that you guys had the pace on the Blacks. Kind of tell us about your day and what the strategy call was, and then the battle with Sadiq there to decide second.
Well, this is a pretty slippery track. There's not a lot of grip, and our setup was especially dangerous, so I was just trying to keep it on track and not spin off into the wall. I'm very happy that I think this is our first all Fiercely Forward podium, so congratulations to Kevin and Nick. Yeah, it was fun fighting with Nick at the end, kind of. I was so close to him for most of the second stint. I was always on his dirty air, and I didn't really have the tires to do anything at the end. But I'm very happy that if I'm going to lose to two people, I want them to be my teammates.
You know, that always makes it a little bit easier to swallow, doesn't it? Clindy?
Yeah, I lost to my teammate last night, so I know exactly how you feel, Sam. I just didn't think that the dirty air was going to play that big of a factor, but I guess the S's are so fast that wake from the car in front of you can really increase your tire wear. Is it worse there in the S's, or is it worse in the slower speed corners where you're trying to get back on the throttle?
It's really bad. I thought the worst of it was Oak Tree and the second to last or the final corner, just because of how long the straights are after that. So, you start plowing a little bit, and, they've opened up 2-3 tenths that you have to catch up now with push to pass on the long straights.
Very
well,
good.
With your third place finish today, you can shout out any friends, family, sponsors, or anyone you'd like for the bronze medal you've earned today. The floor is all yours.
Shout out to Fiercely Forward and P1 Docs, and congrats again to my teammates Kevin and Nick for also being on the podium, and thanks to Christian for making a great setup.
Absolutely. Go celebrate with your teammates, my man. You have 100% earned it, as always. Good to talk to you, buddy.
You too, Mike.
That is Sam Carosella, and we're going to go ahead and bring up second place finisher, another Fiercely Forward driver, a newly minted one. And Nick, we apologize. We don't have your new livery because Trading Paints was being interesting this evening, but congratulations on your second place run. Kind of tell us about your day and your battle with Sam. I'll pose the same question that I did to him to you. You guys kind of let Mitch go burn his Reds up, and then you had the superior strategy. What got you by Sam?
Yeah, thanks. That was really awesome. I said in the server, even to Mitch, like, God, he's one of my besties on this service, has been for years, and it was so nice to race toe to toe with him, especially on road. I've definitely sold myself short with terms of road racing, but this is definitely a breakout race for me. Well, I have never felt more confident.
It's also one that
left and right.
It's also one that a cartoon anvil didn't fall on you, and so I have to say that was that was very satisfying and very heartwarming for me to see you not get swept up in somebody else's mess and be able to finish one of these races really in the position that you deserved. I was going to say Sam and Kevin had him covered.
Yeah, I mean, we had the strategy. We talked about the strategy. I was sort of kind of leaning towards maybe doing an alt strategy, but as soon as I saw the quality pace I had compared to the field, I was like, oh no, we got to play the long game here, honey. Oh God. So yeah, we just drove. We were, working together a little bit, let Mitch, be the carrot out in front. Just kind of, kept in contact. I had a really good run out of the last corner on Sam with push to pass, because I was just kind of using it a little bit just to get a little drive off once I got into the power band, which is, again, it's not ideal, but it kind of worked here in practice, so I tried it out. Do not recommend doing that at all courses, by the way. But yeah, I hollered at Sam. I was like, Sam, I got a huge run, and I just pulled a good overtake, and then coming out of the pits there, I knew it was going to be close with Mitch. We assumed he was underfueled a little bit. just going on that really aggressive strategy. And I, you know, I don't make a lot of moves. I'm usually very calculated, but I knew it was go time there, and so I just had to kind of send it, and then yeah, just use the distance and kind of use the clean air that I had to keep my tires alive. So yeah, that I genuinely have never ran a better race, and I'm so happy that Kevin, Christian, Hamilton, everybody at Fiercely Forward is, you know, taking a chance on me, and I'm kind of moved. I don't know if you can hear the emotion. I'm not quite crying, but I'm very emotional because it feels nice somebody taking a chance on me, as I've been in the community a long time, and really showing, you know, I got my chops to even keep up pace with, you know, the likes of Kevin, who was qualifying for the Pro Series last year. So this isn't the end. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. I know those emotions well, my man. Clindy, what have you got for second place finisher Nick Sadiq?
Just savor it, man. Moments like this are really special. I've had a couple of them myself recently, and it's worth reflecting on and remembering well. So I'm so glad for you, and so happy that you found a new home with a new team and a lot of pace. So, and I'm even more happy that I won't have to see the horse meme in the P1 channel again this week. So
not this week, at least.
No, it's the "oh yeah, man" high five meme instead of staring out at the ocean. So for silver medal, you get the floor at the microphone. You can shout out any friends, family, sponsors, anyone you'd like. You've earned it, my man.
Yeah. First off, my dad, he watches you guys weekly.
We're sorry for
we're
sorry for him on my behalf, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. Alex as well too. My buddy Alex, hello there, out there. And then yeah, Fiercely Forward, for bringing me on. The gang I just mentioned earlier, Ali, for really having a good conversation with me, and, you know, making sure to accommodate a really good work-life balance for me. Life is pretty stressful for me sometimes, but, you know, it's definitely been welcomed by not just the IndyCar people there, but, you know, some of these absolute aliens that I am in awe of on the GTP and GT3 side of things. But I'm humbled to be learning a lot from them and everybody there. P1 Docs for the setups. Apex Racing Supplies on the car as well too. You guys for bringing this. I'm very happy. You know, it's a very good moral victory, I think, you know, not just for myself, but I have a feeling I'm going to get a couple high fives in the community server potentially too, or attaboys. So, you know, I love you all. I hope this is not the end, but like I said, just the beginning. So and this is the weirdest oval here, I swear to God. Isn't it crazy? This is such a weird oval, isn't it? I love you guys. Take care, viewers. Like, subscribe. Peace.
Thank you so much, Nick. That's a very, very happy Nick Sadiq. He's going to bring it home second tonight, and the man of the hour is right down here. That is Kevin Burrell, the General, live and in living color from Japan. Hey. Kevin, my man, you Murph and Clindy in the booth. You had him dusted tonight. It looked once the pit cycle happened and the strategies flipped. You went on the reds and Mitch was on the blacks. It was lights out, brother.
Yeah, you know, sometimes, I mean, obviously, you know, when you have a one stop like this where like the primes are preferred, it takes a little bit of courage at the start to not want to just, especially if you're on pole, to not go on the alts and just try and run away off the line. But I knew just from experience many times, I mean, my team has told me too, like, don't do it. It's so tempting, but you'll lose so much time because, you know, it's 50 versus 70 liters. Like, you know, if you want to run the alts on low fuel.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like 50 versus 70 liters here, basically. So sure enough, Mitch had to fuel, you know, he did under fuel on the alts, then had lost like 2 seconds in the pits. And I had a better, you know, first stint. I mean, it was, I don't know. It was a bit scary off, you know, right when he passed me early on, but I just knew that hopefully it would come back to me and that the, you know, the pace was actually like not that bad on the alts due to having, low fuel at the start. And I made some changes to the set to make it a little safer. There's just no grip here. Like, I don't know what it is. This track has no grip. It's crazy.
Forget grip. It doesn't look like to me there's much track. That thing's only, what, 2 lanes wide maybe, if that?
Yeah, it's very hard to pass. I mean, there's places you have the long straights, obviously, but they end into corners that do not really feel great to pass into. So, and I mean, at least for us, like if I made the set in the high-speed corners at Dirty Air, we're like borderline plowing off the track, because if I added any more wing or made it more aggressive in any way, Clean Air through like the high-speed corners or some of the like low-speed exits was just zero grip, slide to death. So I ended up plowing a bit, but I mean, I knew I had to do it to stay on the track. It was really crazy.
There you go. Clindy?
And what's it take to stay cool, calm, and collected when you know someone's on an alternate strategy like that? Is it just having trust in your stuff, or is it knowing that you've done your homework and you know if the delta will be and it'll be made up? Is it more of faith or more of science?
I think today, actually, I was pretty confident in the science of it. I knew that, well, I actually didn't know if Mitch had underfueled, his first stint, but then I realized that the alts here are so bad that you just can't afford to run them with the full tank if you're going to start with them. You have to underfuel, which meant that he was going to have a longer stop. So, I mean, he was blasting P2P pretty early, and I just felt like as long as I stayed within, like, 2-ish seconds of him, I'd probably be able to kind of keep it right after the stop. And I also got lucky, too, that the timing of when he came out was just behind Nick and Sam in P2 and P3, so he did have to try and get back through them.
Well, he had an off,
and they
I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, so I heard. And I mean, I think when that worked out like that, it was pretty comfortable from that point. But I mean, you're right. I fall victim to. I know the numbers. It should work out to start on the prime. And I could just never convince myself to do it. I'm too afraid of getting run down by people right off the line. And today I was like, nope, we are not doing that. And I guess it worked out.
Well, you and your team definitely have the skill to make it work. And speaking of which, your team is no longer a fledgling. It's been around for a season or two now, and you guys locked out the podium today. What's that mean for you?
It's pretty good. I'm happy. I mean, obviously, the elephant in the room of Phil's VRS base dying. That's pretty unfortunate. I mean, not just because I didn't get to have a battle with him. I mean, if he doesn't get it fixed soon, it's gonna suck to not have him on track for quite a while. But nonetheless, the guys ran really good qual laps, really good race at a track that I don't think any of us felt. I mean, right before the race, we were talking about like, I don't think any of us feel that good, and I don't know. I don't think anyone felt that good. So I'm very happy that we managed to, Nick obviously is really new on the team, and I think he was pretty happy with the result too, as I'm sure he told you guys. So yeah, it's really good, of course. Very happy.
Yeah, for certain, sure. And because you're standing on top of the podium, you get the mic. Friends, family, sponsors, shout outs, my man. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks. Obviously, the Fiercely Forward guys, P1 Docs. I mean, today, sometimes I like to make quite a few tweaks to the set to really suit what I like. Today, I was like maybe less than 10 total clicks off of the P1 set, and it felt as good as it was going to get here. So that was nice. And yeah, of course, the team, everyone. And my parents, I think, are watching. So yeah, cheers, guys, and catch you at... Oh, where are we even going next? Is it... I don't even remember.
I can't really remember either, to tell you the truth. Now you're gonna make me. Now
I'm
gonna make me look.
I'm looking.
Clindy?
Oh, it's Phoenix, right? Sorry, Long Beach is for road. Yeah, Phoenix. Oh boy, that's gonna be something. So I know Hamilton's already working pretty hard on that, and that's a track that I wish I was better at. So maybe I'll have some in this time. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to thank you very much for stopping by, Kevin. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Get out of here, go celebrate with your teammates.
I'm gonna go right back to bed because it's 10 a.m. and I think I got like maybe 4 hours of sleep before the race. So yeah, I'll see you guys See you guys later. Have a good one.
Yeah, you do the
Cheers.
same. Cheers. That is Kevin Burrell. We will get him out of here. And Clindy, we kind of saw a little bit of what we thought we were going to see, but we also saw some things we didn't think we were going to see. I, for one, was very impressed with the amount of racing that these guys were able to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. There were a lot of side-by-side switchback sequences that I wasn't expecting. I thought we were going to see a parade like we had mentioned earlier in the race, but we got to see a lot of good wheel-to-wheel action that I am very pleasantly surprised developed, because I was afraid that we wouldn't get any racing action for you race fans at home, even though we are in the great state of Virginia, just south of where I am now.
You know, and speaking of great racing action, it doesn't stop here, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a full week planned for our friends here on the P1 Broadcasting Network. Next up is going to be with the ISRA Series off for a couple of weeks. The next race that we're going to have for you is going to be the INDYCAR Oval Top Split. That's going to be tomorrow night, 8:15. Gary Gonso, Justin Petchauer, Luis Gonzalez Nunez on the call. That's going to be from Michigan, and that's going to be a lot of fun. On Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, Ryan Eric King and I are going to have the Horizon INDYCAR Series race. That's going to come from Kentucky. And we'll be joined with a dual stream, Gary Gonso and our good friend Stephen Larkamp. They're going to have the Formula Indy Series from right here. The Jay Selman's Motorsports Art GP of Virginia, right here from VIR. On Thursday night, Sam Crow and I, we're going to have the AMA Blackmagic Studios Grand National Series from Martinsville. That's at 8:20. And on Friday night, same time, same bad channel, the Archway Industrial Truck Series. Those are both in the American Motorsports Association group. Our stock car arm, Clindy, and that's doing pretty well. We're going to take Saturday off, and then Sunday, March the 30th, we'll have the votive IndyCar Oval Series. That's going to take place in New Hampshire, 7:50. Gary Gonso on the call, and that brings us right back here next Monday night, 8 o'clock, for the IndyCar Open Monday Night Top Split. That is from Phoenix. For everybody at the P1 Broadcasting Network, myself, Mark Murphy, my co-host, my co-sponsor, my co-anchor, Kyle Clinworth, Gary Godso, the founder, everybody that makes this show go around. We do want to thank all of the first responders, the police, the firemen, the military, the EMS, all of the people that run into trouble so that we don't have to. We tip our caps. For Kyle Clinworth, Mark Murphy, so long from the great state of Virginia.